Welcome into the rinks here on the LI Sports Network. Another junior varsity matchup, this time between the Sachem Braves and the St. Anthony's Friars. Sachem coming into this game 4-7-0 in the junior varsity season. St. Anthony's have reversed them at 7-4-0. But if you ask me, I think Sachem is a team trending in the right direction. My name's Kevin Broder, joined by Wally Mitchell on camera, taking you through the final game of the night here on the South Rinks. Looking at these teams' recent performances as St. Anthony's will take a long shot on Walsh, deflects over, comes around the board. Sachem coming off a nice 6-4 win against KPC. That snapped a two-game losing streak and a tie at 0-0 against Ward Melville, as Sachem will go back the other way for a shot of their own, pausing 55 seconds into the game. St. Anthony's, on the other hand, most recently lost to their sister team, St. Anthony Black. Before that, they had a win against Longwood, 5-2, a loss to Smithtown JV Red, 3-0, a win against the T-Birds, 8-0, and a loss to the very same KPC that Sachem beat, 6-4. Taking a look at our starting goaltenders for today. Cicchino getting the nod for St. Anthony's, while Michael Walsh is on the other end for Sachem. Into the offensive end comes Catazone, looking for another early tester onto Walsh, taken away by Sachem. Left it at the blue line accidentally. Nice poke check right there from Payton. Interrupts a little bit more momentum. Minute 30 gone by, and the puck is going to be forced all the way down the ice. Referees sign that it was tipped, so we'll stay even. Stay active, I should say. Here comes St. Anthony's. This time, Catazone into the offensive end. Trying to get around Anthony Portanova. Catazone up to the blue line. A shot rattles around, and Walsh has to make the save off the rebound. On the near boards, Mueller sends it down low. Knocked by a glove, no hand pass called there, as it wasn't meant to be played in the direction that it was. Anyone who follows the NHL knows about the most recent debate around the hand pass rule from the Brandon Hagel no goal. Ferrara past the blue, trying to challenge Kalber. Has Hesse there as well. Feely trying to turn the centering feed over to Hesse. It just went underneath his stick. Hesse will take it back, looking for options. Bank pass goes off the wall. Dropped right back to the defensive core. Now Feely has an opportunity on the left wing side as the Friars will go for a change. DiPietro. Arister blocked by a shin pad. Friars another opportunity to clear. Feely below the goal line now, looking for a centering feed. Instead wraps it around. DiPietro gets it at the blue line. Walks around one hit, but then it's taken away. This could be a 3-on-1 for the Friars if they go quickly. Sachem trying to get back in transition, and Ferrara isn't able to do much with the opportunity. One of those St. Anthony's players did instantly go off for a change, so realistically they weren't looking for a rush. They were just trying to get some fresh legs on the ice. Retigliano trying to bull charge his way into the offensive end. Comes down to the corner, helped by Ilg. Retigliano had it spiked away and now cleared out of the zone by Monteleone. Broken into a breakaway. Friars in on net. They score! Captain gets on the board first. It's Engelhart to make it 1-0. So Friars go up 1-0. Just 4 minutes into this matchup. Hurlbert looking to go back to Engelhardt. Taken away by Portanova, and he'll whip it across the length of the ice. Touched up by Gasbrook, tries to send it back into the offensive end, and Portanova will chase after it. Engelhardt quickly in on him. Portanova up to the blue line, but not out. The Friars hold it. Handoff, actually just going to be taken straight up and dumped in by Veith. Veith with it again. Now looking for a shot. Tipped by Engelhardt, but not on net. Pops free to Rutigliano, and once again he'll fly forward. Rutigliano pulling up, clean possession for him. Engelhardt getting his stick active. Sends it back and around. Taking a look at some of your leaders from this season. Zachary Hesse leading in goals for Sachem. Liam Becker for St. Anthony's at 10 and 7 respectively. Hesse also leading with 7 assists on his team, while Veith leads with 6 for St. Anthony's. Becker leading his team in total points with 12. And obviously, if you're leading with points and assists, you're leading, or excuse me, goals and assists, you're leading in points. And that's exactly where Hesse lies with a total of 17 points for this Sachem team. Another dump in will be speared off by Walsh. Sits in the corner for Sachem to go and collect. DiPietro will skim it around on the backhand. Now the breakout comes off the right side. Instantly forced back in deep by St. Anthony's. DiPietro trying the same side. Loeb chasing after it. Couldn't get there first as Catazone dumped it back down below the goal line. First 6 minutes of this game gone by, and it's the captain Engelhardt with the only goal for the Friars. Feely. He'll try twisting this puck around. Catazone beating him to the spot. Now a little bit of a joust going on. Sachem will win it out. Hesse, the leading point producer that I was just talking about, with control in the neutral zone. Taking a look at this head-to-head, St. Anthony's took the very same matchup back on September 17th. The final score 5-4 as Hesse tries to shove it in from a sharp angle. Cecchino made a stop partially off his pad. Tested again, this time kicks it off with the right leg. Puck along the perimeter. Fed to Hesse, dicing it up and shooting it high this time. Glove stop from Cecchino. Looks like we have a bit of a equipment malfunction. Take a second to resolve that here at the rinks. So Cecchino ready to go again. Tigliano trying to win the face-off forward. Hurlbert doing a good job collecting on the backhand, has numbers in front. Shot goes wide over to the right. About halfway through the period now. Sachem once again trying to pepper Cecchino, makes another solid stop. This time the Friars will win the draw. Matuza takes it on the far side and ramps it past Gigi Cuomo. Sachem take it back. Calber looking ahead. Good pass over to Payton. Payton past the blue. Gives it rolling to DiPietro. Looked off to the top right corner and wasn't far from a goal. DJ Cuomo giving it back down low. Payton playing a physical game there with Hesse to come in as the second option. DJ Cuomo trying to hold the zone, but it was well fought for and cleared all the way down the ice by Engelhardt. A little too hard, as it will become an icing with 7:03 to play in the first. Instant shot off the draw. Sachem had in his glove before I even opened my eyes. Payton gives it for Hesse. Bumped by Chera. Puck comes free. Chance to be played by DJ Cuomo. St. Anthony's do a good job tying up and will win it forward and potentially in for Becker. A shot. Blocker save this time by Walsh. Back in transition for Hesse. 1-on-5. He's taking on the entire team as Sachem go for a change. Will get laid out into the board by Reeve again. His second hit of this shift. Now challenged by Loeb. Bashes it off the wall. Scooped up and wheeled forward by Gasparic. He cuts past the blue, fading off to the left side, pulling around for a shooting lane. Nice little tap there from Walsh to not allow the puck to go in front of his net. St. Anthony's still leading this game 1-0. They're scoring 5.2 goals per game, and their first came from Kenneth Engelhardt. Becker to the goal line, trying to feed it back for Veith. It's taken away. Hesse into the offensive end, looking to go through his man, but separated from the puck, and Sachem will cover up. Hesse having a few words as well with his opposition after the exchange. As the Friars will go for a change, and so will Sachem. Nine minutes, 20 seconds about passing in this period. Catazone twists it, Ferrara holds. Ferrara gains the red line and chooses to dump in. Big hop off the end boards. Portanova trying to get there, joined alongside his defensive partner and Kreusch. Friars forced back to the neutral zone, quickly reload with Catazone dancing down low. Catazone trying to wrap it around, but got too deep. Ilg, battle at the near point, can't win it. Kreusch with it again, tries the opposite side, once again held alive. Good stick work from Catazone. Had it go through his legs, just as I say it though. Monteleone, pressured on the forecheck from Ilg. Has a second Sachem player in front of him, but wiggles past that as well. Now a lot of room. Monteleone trying to cut in front, but was met by a wall of Braves. Kalber on the backhand dish, leaving it off for DiPietro. Tries to wiggle it up the wall and out. 4:25 remaining in the first period now. It's been a fairly even game on both sides, but St. Anthony's with a couple of more opportunities. Another one comes, follow-up shot. Walsh making a flurry of saves. St. Anthony's still getting around Walsh. A nice kick right there. That was close. Up to the blue line. One-timer on the way. Well off to the left. Hurlbert going there. Slides another pass to the blue. Michael Monteleone poked away from him. And finally Sachem clear. Looking for a transition shot. Whistles off to the left side. Sachem get the must-needed changes. Monteleone still out there. Turned it over at the blue. Trying to joust to get it back. Hesse curling it around one. Hesse had it poked over to the corner at the last second. Friars avoid a grade A opportunity for a dangerous goal scorer. DJ Cuomo knocked down to the ice. The Friars take it back. Almost held by Hesse at the blue line, but it did slide by, so we'll take an offsides and a face-off in the neutral zone. Monteleone. Hesse trying to carry it past the blue line. Sent down the length of the ice, and the Friars will commit an icing. Rush ahead again for the Friars off the face-off win. It's Becker to the goal line, and the net will crash off its moorings. And we might get goaltender interference here, as a Friar is escorted over to the box. That's number 44, Reeve Chero. So Sachem will go to the power play, the first of the game, trying to tie us up at 1. Face-off taken by Ratigliano, hops onto it. Ratigliano looking to the far point, puck held alive, swept across. Kalber giving it down low for Payton, touches it up, but it wobbled over his stick. Ratigliano with it again, curling in the left circle. Looks to send it in front, has a man, Felia's shot, and a better save from Cecchino. Ratigliano now getting knocked down to the ice, and the Friars will find a clear because of it. Grade A opportunity on the power play, though. That was a great look right there from Sachem. Trying to get it back again. Through the neutral zone, they'll whip it across. Ratigliano breaks through the blue. His shot well off to the right side. Big bounce goes all the way for Sachem at the blue. Worked across Kalber. Slides it down low. Ratigliano left circle looking for a tip. Payton had it. Rebound comes in front, and it's tucked home. Power play goal. Sachem tie us at 1. That's what you get when number 20's out in front. A force to deal with. Feely comes flying in for an easy tuck. So Sean levels the game at 1. Ratigliano and Payton will get the assists. Mueller dipping down to the goal line, gets leveled into the boards. Hesse will come back on. Wasn't on that power play unit, just to get a little bit of rest for one of the best players on Sachem, but obviously with that rest, we'll be right back out on the ice. Back pass, long shot, Cecchino is safe. Rebound in front again. Here comes DiPietro, roofs it all the way into the ceiling. Late joiner here for Sachem as Kane will join the fray. Declan Kane is adding a little bit more depth for this team now. Kane with 3 points in his 11 games played so far. Obviously, another big storyline for this Sachem team is that they've been missing Jack Mitchell for the entire season. Mitchell only playing 2 games. Hesse going after it into the left wing corner with under a minute to play. Hesse crossed the blue, lost it in his skates, and so he'll do a loop back around. Handoff will go to Ild. Bashed off the wall. Hesse gets it down below the goal line. Monteleone trying to dig it out. Solid rush going ahead. This is Becker with it again, looking off to the middle. Sticks tie up and Sachem win the fight. Becker dancing at the blue. Now poked off his stick, and it's for Payton. Less than 10 to play. Payton trying to charge in front and takes another hit. We'll hit triple zeros here in the first period on the LI Sports Network. 1-1 after one. We'll be right back for the second.
I thought he scored for a second. And I was like, that's why I threw my hands up, because that would have been the most awesome thing to happen in the history of hockey. KPC won.
And we're back for the start of the second period here on the LI Sports Network. 1-1 after the first 15, a power play goal for Sachem after Engelhardt, the captain, started off the game for the Friars. Calbert, tap pass ahead. Feely, the goal scorer on that power play, across the ice trying to hook up with Lope. He'll force it in past the blue line, but doesn't have a whole lot of momentum behind it. Sachem get a takeaway at center ice. Rutigliano looking off to the opposite side. DiPietro spears it into the offensive end, but the Friars calmly control it. Look across for their captain. It's Engelhardt to gain the zone. Make that Hurlbert the other C for this team. Veith tied up. Good play from Rutigliano and Feely. Now it's Engelhardt again. Engelhardt dicing almost through a crowd, but Calber stood him up with the shoulder. Engelhardt has it. Sharp angle shot. Hits off the outside of that. Almost swept in front. Friars with it again. Hurlbert taps it around. Engelhardt. Good spin move away. Shot down low. Easy save for Walsh, who was hugging the far post. Engelhardt now in the midst of two Sachem players. DiPietro trying to pull him off the puck, and Rutigliano was sweep it away off the backhands. Rutigliano, good speed. Trying to break away from the Friars. Poke check, takes it off of his stick. Calber was there as the backup and will swipe it out of the zone. Sachem now going for a change as the puck is dumped in on Cicchino. Matuza trying to make some magic happen. Will whistle one wide right. Ild couldn't clear the zone as the oversight was applied by Veith. Twirls it back around. Couple bodies meet up on the near boards. Spills out for St. Anthony's. Awkward carom to the blue line, and the Friars are right back in. Another shoulder drop there from Shero. Try and get it in as deep as possible. Tap pass towards the center. Wasn't exactly as powerful as DeAndrea would have wanted. Another centering feed, and this time it was Kane to tie up the stick of Liam Becker, who was out in front. Becker still controlling. Across for Veith. The pass at the blue line. Mishandled, but still in. Gasper trying to dance down. Shot interrupted. Karams off to the near side, and now Sachem can get it away. Gasbrecht another step up on the intercept. Mishandled it. Now it's Hesse with Hunter off to his left side. Hesse diving down to the goal line, wrapping around all the way on a long magical journey. Hesse across, Kreusch with room. Lining up on the forehand, never let it fly. It's a bank pass instead for Hesse again, who continues to keep those legs churning. Hesse up to the blue, not a lot of room to work with. Dumps it into the right wing corner now, and Sachem will evacuate the play and step back towards the neutral zone. Payton coming out on a partial change as the Friars will jump onto it. It's DeAndrea jousting it past the blue line. Now the Friars will make a change of their own. Into the offensive end, referees calling offside, so the Friars will oblige and touch up. Tipped in by Cuomo, forcing Gasbrecht to pitch it around the boards. To the near side, held in by Kreusch. Fanned on his pass, the Friars take it back. Again, 1-1 the score after the first 15 minutes. Payton got one of the assists on the power play goal. Couldn't do much there walking down the near wall, and now the Friars can get some numbers going north. It's Engelhardt quickly to the goal line, trying to extend his right arm to drag around the crease. It's poked off his stick, takes it right back though. Friars with some room. Walsh saves that fiery shot. And with 10:58, we'll take another pause here in the second period. Long blast, well off target. Sits on the wall for a little bit. Monteleone, another opportunity at it, tries to pass off to Ferreira. Friars get it in front, the shot missed wide right. Another opportunity wrapping the near post this time. Sachem sent numbers into the slot, safely poke it away. Dangerous though is Mueller. Goes down low, it gets hit by DiPietro. It's a 2-on-2, and Retigliano takes it away. The captain gets it out for Sachem. Retigliano still holding on to it. Trying for a shot, was blocked in front by the Friars. Retigliano, good stick lift. Holds the zone because of it. Cuomo off on the right side, looking for him on the pass. Awkward bounce off the boards, giving Ferrara some time to play it. Long pass ahead, Kalber will touch up, sending it over to Feely. His stick tied up, and it's once again Mueller into the offensive end. Mueller for a shot, ramps off of Kalber's tape. Down low, taken by DiPietro. Slides it up for Loeb. At the blue line, it was forced off of his stick, but he found the clear at the very least. Schletzler going all the way back to his end. Rolls it right, now banked ahead for Mueller. Couldn't field the pass cleanly. Sachem get another opportunity with it in their own end at 9:26 remaining in the second period. That was almost a grade A opportunity for Engelhardt. Was mere inches away from a one-on-one with Walsh. Hilbert rotating, gives it to the blue line, almost tipped by Engelhardt. Engelhardt hands off. This is Catazone, taken away once again by the captain. Tigliano having a solid game for himself so far. First 6 minutes gone by here in the second period. Not a whole lot of action to speak of because both teams are playing very clean defensive styles of hockey. Hurlbert into the offensive end, looking for a shot from the slot. Ended up dribbling wide to the left of the cage, and Walsh just let it go there. Loeb in the corner, looking out to the middle, taken away by Hurlbert. Up ahead for the other captain, it's Engelhardt. High pass into the zone, and Walsh will cover up with the mitten, forcing a whistle with 8:12 remaining now. Once again, you're watching the LI Sports Network. My name is Kevin Broderick, joined by the fantabulous Wally Mitchell. Puck forced to the blue line and just barely passed. It's Ilg into the offensive end, but couldn't deal with the pressure from Becker. Friars send a couple of passes. Sagona, pressured, takes a hit, but gives one as good as he got it. About halfway through this game, the winner still far from clear, but here's a big moment right now. Hesse past the blue line, has Hunter in front, big rebound. Ilg trying to get there in time, but can't. Held in the zone. Sagona for another one, and Sacchino this time shuts it down. Face off, one forward by Retigliano. He'll hem it into the left wing corner, but two Friar players are enough to pry it off of his stick. It's Gasbrook to lead the rush. Past the blue line now, loading up on the shot. Good save there from Walsh. And he'll cut off his backwards momentum to face another face-off. This time with 7:15 remaining in the second period. Friars win that draw cleanly. Feed it up to the blue line along Rister. Knocked down by Sachem, and Culber will swipe it out of the zone. Here comes Digio Cuomo. His stick tied up, so he'll dump it in. Long rim around. Payton wasn't able to get there in time. It's up for Ferrara and out of the zone. A pass a little bit behind Mueller, but will still do to get it through the neutral. Couple of hits on the near point. Retigliano, always seemingly the player to come away with it, but instead it's Mueller for a shot. And Walsh made the save, deflects out of play. Well, this would be an upset in the standings as Engelhardt tries to let it fly. The shot flutters well right of the net. Payton has it, weak on the clearing attempt. Comes back to him, though. Here comes Payton. Digio Cuomo on his right. Retigliano behind. Puck dribbling at the blue line. The big man gets there. Has a man out in front, but just couldn't send enough pepper on it. Would have been the captain, Retigliano, with the one-on-one with Sacchino. As I was saying, Sachem, 9th in the standings right now. This St. Anthony's gold team, 5th in the standings. But if I could look into a crystal ball, I imagine Sachem is going to start building some positive momentum for themselves. Potentially getting into winning ways sooner rather than later on this season. Veith had it jousted off of his stick. Mueller with an opportunity to play it. He'll ring it around the boards to the near side. 1-1, still the score. Now about 25 minutes gone by. Retigliano into the offensive end. A lot of Friars near him. Somehow drags that all the way through. Slides it across. Dumped in by Feely. Not a whole lot of space for Hurlbert to work with. Looks for Schechter. Crowd like that opportunity for Sachem. Friars find the clear on the back end of it, though, so they're feeling fine about it. Here's Hesse, marked by Engelhardt. Hesse will go into his own zone, now on the reload. Engelhardt there to greet him again, this time. Nice move off to his left. Hesse past the blue line. Now looking to jam out in front. Stick check there from Sacchino. Battle for the puck. Coming down onto his Sagona. This is going to be a breakaway for the Friars unless Hesse can get back in time. Engelhardt going to the front of the net, and the feed is broken up by Kane. Sagona trying to find the clear now, but the Friars have a man at the near point. It's Hurlbert to try to put it back on net, blocked aside and played out quickly by Hesse. He'll give it to Feely. Cuts past the blue. Banks it around the boards, reaches down low, Gasbarick touches it up. Taken back by Sachem. It's Hesse at the goal line, sends it in front. Still there as Sacchino tries to get his team to rally. Kalber couldn't hold his own. It is another 2-on-1. This time a proper 2-on-1. Here come the Friars. Pass across. One more to the back door, and Walsh gets over in time. Feely can clear the zone safely for Sachem. They probably need some changes as this group has been going up and down for the last minute. Under 4 to play here in the second. Becker. Looking over, and Catazone will carry in. Catazone dips down low and turns around for the shot. Monteleone jamming it out in front. 3 Friars all sitting on the doorstep, and the shot was missed. Walsh was in a mad dash. Kalber softly playing it up the boards. A raucous of sticks. Pops free into the circle. First one onto the scene is DiPietro. Just had enough mustard to get it past the blue line. Now DiPietro trying to show his offense, dicing it up into the middle. Mishandled it. Rutigliano on the backhand. It was saved by Sacchino. 3 minutes left in the second period now, and opportunities continue to go back and forth. These two teams have been tied up the entire time. DeAndrea trying to break this deadlock, but his shot ramped off of Kalber. Popped up and beyond the net. Kalber another opportunity and will be smacked ahead. Finally, we'll get a whistle for offsides. Clock stopped at 2:43. .50-50 puck that Mueller's going to win. Smacked aside by Walsh. Not a lot of time remaining in this second period. We still haven't seen a goal for either squad. Most recent tally came by Sean Feely, back with 1:54 left in the first period. Another long blast knocked down well by the stick of Kreusch. Payton now brings it in. Payton trying to use his side. Jabs a backhander on net. Sacchino makes the easy stop. Friars find a nice couple of passes and hurry it up. Into the offensive end again. Ferrara had it ripped away. Back around for Kreusch. This time tries to jam it up the near boards. It's knocked down and held alive. Portanova pressured by Ferrara. Twists it. Near point held in by the Friars. They'll send it back the way it came. Carries all the way around to the opposite wall. Another long shot with a tip knocked aside by Kreusch. Kreusch again on his backhand. Trying to clear it across the pesky Mueller. Has Hesse there to help him out. St. Anthony's pick it off at the goal line. Trying to send it in front. But too many sticks were tied up and Ferrara couldn't get the shot off. Another opportunity. Door front, they score. Friars make it 2-1, their second lead of the night. .16 left in the second period. Jack Hurlbert will get the goal, assisted by Cooper Ferrara. And Jason Matuza on the secondary assist. Puck back into the zone for Kane. And offsides now called against St. Anthony's. 65 ticks remaining in the second period. Puck played up to the far point. Swung back down the wall. Hurlbert looking for something in the middle. Another centering feed, and it's tipped it in. Friars score. 2 in a minute. They're up 3-1. Hesse back to the draw. His team now in a 2-goal deficit, the biggest lead of the night for St. Anthony's. Puck forced in. Engelhart dicing it up and took a shot. Walsh had no idea where it was. Gasparic will get the goal, assisted by Jack Hurlbert. So Hurlbert with 2 points. One coming with 1:16, one of them coming with 46 seconds. Down below 20 to play in the second period, and Sachem probably needing a little bit of time. Take this time out to recuperate. Have a brief meeting about how you want to approach this third period against a good St. Anthony's team. Clock left at 2. Now we'll hit triple zeros for the second time this game. Take another quick break here on the LI Sports Network and be back for the final period of regulation. And we're back on the LI Sports Network. Start of the third period as the Friars bounced out to a 2-goal lead late in the second, leaving Sachem in a big hole to try to claw back. And a game that's been relatively low on offense for its entirety. Friars come out in front again, almost tuck it home. Walsh had to get post to post. Does keep his team in this though, and a follow-up save right there will force a whistle. Whipped across the ice. DiPietro mishandled it, gets it back. DiPietro down to the goal line, trying to turn it around. Pressed in by Catazone. Wheels it off, and now Hunter has it. Looking off to the center. Another centering feed as DiPietro couldn't get there in time. Tapped around for Becker. He'll whip it out of the zone. St. Anthony's past the blue line now with a minute gone by in the period. Cut almost out in front on the wraparound attempt. Walsh makes one save, and then the second shot flies by. More pressure for the Friars. Catazone, a long blast. Hits off the end boards and sits there. Friars try to poke it out in front off the near post. Good poke check from Hesse. He'll drop his shoulder now, trying to clear it. Dug it around for Kalber, and now he has room to skate it up. Long home run pass. Goes straight on to the backhand. Sachem trying to get numbers into the zone, but Ilg was denied. Gives it away, and now Becker can fly forward. Becker still with it. He'll dump it in. Go off for a change behind the play. Friars with a fresh 5 on the ice. Kane trying to rim it up the boards. Taken by Engelhardt. He'll shimmy it down low. Puck still sitting there. Walsh trying to cover it up. Puck still loose somehow. A scramble for it. Comes into the skates of Gigio Cuomo. Trying to get it out of the zone, but it pops free for the Friars. They'll hold it at the blue line. Shot goes into his stick. Kane directs it down low. Now Kane pressured for it. Has some room. Could turn this into a breakaway as Sachem skate ahead 3-on-2, but no gas left for Ilg. Given off. Gigio Cuomo, a shot, and Sacchino makes a save. Rebound still there as he didn't want to cover it up completely. Thought he could get it out for his defense, and that created a little bit of a heart palpitation for Friars fans. Payton in the neutral zone. Stick handling past the blue line, and it's lifted away by the Friars. Again, the turning point of this game coming at 1:16 and 46 seconds left in the second period. The goal scored by Hurlburt and Gasparic. Hurlburt had 2 points in that stretch with the goal and the assist on the Gasparic goal. As we'll take an icing here. Feely gets it off for Tigliano. Didn't find the room he wanted, gives it back to Feely, taken away by the Friars. Bashed up the boards and out of the zone. Goes all the way down. DiPietro not going to allow it to go for an icing because it was waved off. DiPietro harassed by 2, almost a big turnover out in front. Hurlburt had it, was looking for his 3rd point in a row. Calber will now ride him into the end boards, picks his pocket. Calber passing it up, Loeb will skate onto it. Off the boards ahead for Retigliano, but Hurlburt came all the way back from the bottom of the zone. Hurlburt down Main Street, he scores! Friars up big, 4-1 the score. Gasparic with it now, a fluttering shot that went off a stick, winds up with Engelhardt. He'll turn around, give it back to Veith. Returns the favor to his captain. Engelhardt off the boards, almost wrapping it out in front. Another shot, Hurlburt, save made by Walsh. Friars will take the opportunity to get some more fresh legs out. Ilg navigating. Was looking ahead for Hunter as Sachem offside. Still need a touch up. As Hesse now just realizing. Five minutes ticking by here in this third period. Another 10 remain, and Sachem with a long uphill battle in front of them as the puck will go out of play. Their only goal of the game coming at the 5-on-4 with 1:54 left in the first. That was Sean Feely from Ryan Retigliano and Tyler Payton. Officially under 10 to play here on the LI Sports Network. You have some varsity matchups going on as well. One of them already concluded. It was a 6-5 win in overtime for KPC over West Islip. And currently underway, Connetquot Sayville versus Ward Melville. T-Birds lead that game 1-0, still in the first period. DJ Cuomo and Kane in the offensive end, followed up by Payton, but beating all of them is Catazone. He leads the rush, knifing down to the goal line, trying to pull up, sending a pass all the way across. Reaches the stick of Mueller, loads up a wrister, and Walsh, sliding across, makes the save. Check from behind, that's going to go down as a penalty. It'll be Calber off to the box once the touch-up comes through, and Retigliano gets his stick in there. So Calber will go off. I think he's a little frustrated. Might have thought there was a flop on the hit. But Calber will be off nonetheless, and the Friars have a golden opportunity to punch in a 4-goal lead. Friars win the face-off. Long drive from Matuza was interrupted by the Braves. Spun around the boards. Now forced out of the zone. Matuza. Good little shake right there. 30 seconds gone by in the power play. Matuza. Stick handles around one, now getting hit in the boards, still with it though. Matuza looking for options, whips it across to the far side. Ferrara returning the favor. Gives it to Ferrara again, fumbled it in his skates, just looking to somewhere in the slot. Tapped towards the front of the net, follow-up shot, Walsh makes a save. Rebound comes around, but the Friars couldn't dig it away in time. Wrapped onto the near post, another rebound into the slot, shot fanned on. Sachem trying to get in front of it, and finally will settle down a rolling puck. Pitched off the wall a second time, still not cleared. Friars. So much offensive potential right now as Portanova will finally spin it around to the far point, held in once again. Walked down by St. Anthony's. Centering feed upcoming, goes through and through. Hits off the near boards with 40 seconds left in the power play. Shot from the slot, miss wide right, rebound, Walsh dives on top of it. Hesse will get the clear. Goes back out for Veith. 22 seconds left in the 5-on-4. Veith cuts past the blue. Stick handles around Ilg and knocks him down from behind. That's going to be a penalty on St. Anthony's. So we'll go 4-on-4 for the next 14 seconds and then follow that up with a Sachem power play, their second of the game. DiPietro trying to give it off to Kreusch, was bottled up. Luckily held on to the puck. Sachem have to check up. Down to 5 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and this will be quickly into a power play for Sachem. Richter wide over the left. Kalber, tap pass, Hesse as DiPietro. Slid it well behind the defenseman. 128, turnout in front, and somehow saved by Walsh. Payton trying to dig the puck free, does it in one swipe. 6:18 remaining in the third period. Hesse into the corner, pursued by Becker. Hesse still holding on to it. Starting to trot up, looking off to the right wing, then attacking over the middle. Has Payton streaking to the net front. Turns it around, looking over for Ill, couldn't get there in time, sits free. Chero gets there for the Friars, clears it out of the zone. Down to 40 seconds left in the power play. You got to imagine Sachem need one right now in order to make this a reality to come back. Would still be a 2-goal lead for St. Anthony's. Into the neutral zone, across for Payton. Taken away, and Ferrara will send it in. Kalber back for it, who took the earlier penalty against Sachem. Looking for Payton. Had a little bit of trouble controlling. Friars with another opportunity to rim it down and get it all the way. 5 seconds left on the power play. Looks like Sachem will go 1 for their 2 on the game. Pass, another deflection in front. Walsh tested, dribbles wide right. Retigliano trying to give it off for Kane. Shimmies it up the boards. Hesse bats it down and gets it back. Portanova will skate backwards, leaving it for Hesse again. Hesse for Portanova, all the way down the ice. Ticino not going to have to play it, so it will be an icing. Portanova out in front. Takes this ahead onto the tape of Loeb. Worked past him, and the Friars take it pass. Feeling another long shot, and Ticino will collect it in his mitten. We pause with 4:04 remaining now. Face-off, fought for. Looked like Kane almost had an opportunity to play it. Long shot from Portanova, hits off the stick of Veith, pops into the air, and a backhander does get to the net front, but not much of a trouble for Ticino. Veith down low, pursuing Hesse. Gives it up top. Kreusch, another long shot, hits off the foot of Hurlbert. Hesse takes it back. Walking off to his right side. A great poke check right there from Gasper. Trying to flip himself into a breakaway. Gets after the puck for a shot. Walsh is safe. Rebound, and Walsh is on top of it. Here comes Retigliano on his horse through the neutral zone. Has Feely off to his left side, trying to crisscross with Hunter. Retigliano, trouble with it at the blue. Still gets it in deep. It's Feely with it now. Centering feed and almost got it off to Hunter. Instead, it ends up with Becker and the Friars rush back the other way. Down to 3 minutes to play in the third period. Stick check right there from Calburn. Not much of a problem for Hunter. It'll get bottled up by Sagona now. Comes out in front easily for Calburn to play it over to Feely. Feely sends it right past the blue line. Hunter fumbled with it. Retigliano not able to keep it in on the follow-up, and it's once again with number 9, Liam Becker. Retigliano will settle it down. Looking to swipe through this Friars aggressive neutral zone trap. Monteleone taking it past, getting around one hit from Portanova, but he did end up spilling to the ice. So not much of a rush there for the Friars. Looks like St. Anthony's is controlling this one. Maybe DiPietro changing it across. Feely, a shot wide over to the right side. Held in, and that was one of the better opportunities Sachem have had since their power play goal back in the first. DiPietro, nice little shake and bake right there. Now getting tied up on the boards. Back for Portanova. Somehow wills it over to DiPietro, separated from the puck by Mueller. St. Anthony's with a dominant end to the second period, a nice start to the third. That's what's really separating them right now. It's how they got their 4-1 lead, and it's probably how they're going to win their 8th game of the season. But here comes Hesse. Hesse in on net, scores! Not to be held without a point. Hesse makes it a 2-goal game. And a timeout's going to be called by Sachem, so we'll take a pause here on the LI Sports Network as well and be right back with the remainder of this 117. And we're back here on the LI Sports Network. Not a lot of time remaining for Sachem. If they had found a goal on that power play, maybe you're having a different story, but they'll try pulling Walsh regardless. Hesse. Couldn't hold on to it for long. It's back for Sagona. Sagona, excuse me. Giving it off to Hesse, who just scored the breakaway goal. Hesse dangerously out in front of his own net, which is empty at this point. Brought into the offensive end by Sachem. Friars just try to tie it up there. Payton wasn't able to rip it off the board, so it rims around and the Friars break it out off the far point. Feely with a poke check, couldn't take it away. Engelhardt looking to get it into open space. Friars empty net off the outside. Sachem still battling for it here. Sagona twirls it around, taken off the boards, fired at the empty net, and it rattles off wide. Sachem still going after it. 5 seconds left in the third period, and they'll vacate the puck. Hurlbert plays it one more time, and it will die over with the captain, Engelhardt. Final score 4-2. Friars take the matchup in regulation. And we'll move on to 8-4-0 on the season. Sachem falling down to 4-8-0. And that's how we'll end this stream here on the South Rinks of the LI Sports Network. Thank you so much for watching all 3 games today. And we'll see you on Wednesday for more Suffolk County High School hockey.